Let me tell you something that most people discover too late in life. The biggest battle you will ever fight is not against the world outside of you. It is not against your competition. It is not against your circumstances. It is not against the people who doubted you. The greatest battle you will ever fight is the battle inside your own mind. Because before success appears in your bank account, before it appears in your career, before it appears in your relationships, before it appears in your achievements, it first appears as a thought. Everything you see around you today was once an invisible idea inside someone's mind. A building was once just a thought. A successful business was once just a thought. A life-changing decision was once just a thought. And the same thing is true for your future. Your future is being created right now by the thoughts you repeat, the beliefs you accept, and the actions you take every single day. Think about this for a moment. Two people can experience the exact same situation, the exact same opportunity, the exact same challenge, and yet create completely different results. Why? Because they do not see the world the same way. One person sees a problem and says this is impossible. Another person sees the same problem and says this is an opportunity to grow. One person sees failure and says I am finished. Another person sees failure and says I have learned something valuable. The difference is not always talent. The difference is not always intelligence. The difference is not always luck. The difference is mindset. Let me tell you something. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever possess, but it can also become the greatest limitation you will ever face. A person with a weak mindset can have every opportunity in the world and still find a reason to fail. A person with a strong mindset can face impossible circumstances and still find a way forward. The world does not only reward the strongest people. The world rewards the people who develop themselves. The person you become determines the results you create. I learned something years ago. Success is not something that you chase. Success is something you attract by becoming the type of person who deserves it. Most people want a better life, but they do not want to become a better person. They want more money, but they do not want to develop better habits. They want more opportunities, but they do not want to increase their skills. They want confidence, but they do not want to face their fears. They want success, but they do not want the discipline that success requires. Here's what most people don't understand. Your circumstances are not the final decision maker of your life. Your response to your circumstances is you may not control where you begin, but you have tremendous influence over where you go. You may not choose every challenge that comes into your life, but you choose the attitude you bring to those challenges, and that attitude becomes your direction. Imagine two farmers. Both farmers receive the same piece of land. Both receive the same amount of sunlight. Both receive the same amount of rain. One farmer looks at the land and says, "This is worthless. Nothing will grow here." The other farmer looks at the land and says, "There is potential here. If I prepare it, if I plant the right seeds, if I care for it every day, something beautiful can come from this." Years later, one farmer is standing in an empty field. The other farmer is standing in a harvest. The land was the same. The difference was the mindset. Your life works the same way. The circumstances around you are like the soil. Your thoughts are the seeds. Your habits are the water. Your discipline is the sunlight. And eventually your results become the harvest. But many people walk through life planting negative seeds every single day. and then wondering why their life produces negative results. They wake up saying, "Nothing works for me." They repeat, "I am unlucky." They tell themselves, "People like me never become successful." And after hearing those words thousands of times, their mind begins to believe them. Because your mind does not only listen to what other people say about you, your mind, hey sighs, listens to what you repeatedly say about yourself. Be careful with the story you tell yourself, because the story you repeat becomes clear's throat, the life you create. There was a young man who grew up believing that he was not capable of achieving anything great. He came from a normal background. He did not have special connections. He did not have extraordinary resources. He looked around and saw people who were ahead of him, and he convinced himself that they had something he did not have. But one day someone asked him a simple question. Why do you believe that your past has more power than your future? That question changed everything, because he realized something important. His past was a chapter, not the entire book. The mistakes he made were lessons, not a life sentence. The struggles he faced were training, not punishment. He began changing the way he thought. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" he started asking, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of asking, "Why am I not successful yet?" he started asking, "What person do I need to become to create success?" And slowly, day by day, his life began to transform. Not because everything around him changed overnight, but because something inside him changed first. That is the secret most people miss. They keep waiting for the outside world to change before they change themselves. They say, "When I have more money, then I will become disciplined. When I become successful, then I will become confident. When life gets easier, then I will work harder." But life does not work that way. You do not become successful because life becomes easier. Life becomes easier because you become stronger. The mountain does not become smaller. The climber becomes better. The challenge does not disappear. You develop the ability to overcome it. Think about every successful person you admire. Behind every achievement, there is a story nobody saw. There were mornings when they did not feel motivated. There were moments when they wanted to quit. Hence snorts. There were times when nobody believed in them, but they had something stronger than temporary emotions. They had a powerful mindset. They understood that discipline is choosing what matters most over what feels easiest. Because motivation comes and goes, feelings change, energy levels change, circumstances change, but discipline creates consistency, and consistency creates transformation. Small actions repeated over time create extraordinary results. A person who reads 10 pages every day becomes a different person after 1 year. A person who exercises 30 minutes every day becomes a different person after 1 year. A person who improves one skill every day becomes a different person after 1 year. People underestimate the power of small improvements because they are looking for dramatic changes. But success is usually not built in one giant moment. Success is built in thousands of small moments. The decision to wake up early. The decision to keep learning. The decision to control your emotions. The decision to stop blaming others. The decision to believe that your future can be greater than your past. These small decisions become your identity, and your identity determines your destiny. Let me tell you something. You are always becoming someone. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every habit you practice is shaping your future self. The question is not whether you are changing. The question is, who are you becoming? Are you becoming someone stronger? Are you becoming someone wiser? Are you becoming someone who can handle bigger opportunities? Because success is not just about getting more. Success is about becoming more. A bigger life requires a bigger version of yourself. You cannot build $1 million future with a 100 mindset. You cannot create extraordinary results while protecting ordinary thinking. At some point, you have to challenge the beliefs that have been holding you back. You have to question the excuses you have repeated for years. You have to stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I succeed? Because many people are not defeated by failure. They are defeated by the fear of failure. They never start because they are afraid of making mistakes. But every person who achieved something meaningful had moments where they looked uncertain. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master was once a student. Every successful person had a moment where they had to believe before they had proof. That is what faith in yourself means. It means taking the first step before you can see the entire staircase. It means trusting the person you are becoming, even when the current version of you still has weaknesses, because your current situation is not your final destination. Your current abilities are not your permanent limitations. Your current results are not the full measure of your potential. There is more inside you than you have discovered. There are strengths you have not developed. There are opportunities you have not recognized. There is a version of yourself waiting to be built through commitment, patience, and courage. But that version will never appear if you continue feeding the same thoughts, practicing the same habits, and making the same choices. The future does not suddenly arrive. The future is created, and every single day, you are either moving toward the life you want or moving away from it. There is no standing still. Your mindset is the foundation of everything, because your mindset controls your decisions, and your decisions control your direction, and your direction determines where you end up, and your direction determines where you end up, because your life is not shaped by one decision. Your life is shaped by the direction of your decisions. A ship does not become lost because of one huge mistake. Sometimes it becomes lost because of a small change in direction that nobody notices at the beginning. A 1-degree shift may seem meaningless when you first make it, but travel far enough, and that 1-degree difference can take you to an entirely different destination. Your mindset works the same way. A small change in the way you think today can create a completely different life years from now. The person who learns to control their thoughts has learned to control the direction of their life. Let me tell you something. Most people are not failing because they lack potential. They are failing because they are not managing their potential. They have ability, but they do not have focus. They have dreams, but they do not have discipline. They have desires, but they do not have a plan. And desire without direction is simply frustration. You can want something badly, but wanting alone does not transform your life. A seed does not become a tree because it wishes to grow. It becomes a tree because it follows the laws of growth. It receives the right environment. It develops roots. It survives storms. It continues growing even when nobody is watching. And your success follows the same principle. You must build roots before you expect fruit. The roots are your character. The roots are your discipline. The roots are your habits. The roots are the decisions you make when nobody is there to applaud you. Because success is not created on the stage. Success is created backstage. It is created in the quiet moments. It is created when you choose learning instead of entertainment. When you choose preparation instead of excuses. When you choose patience instead of instant gratification. Here's what most people don't understand. The life you want is hidden inside the daily choices you are currently making. Your future is not waiting for you somewhere far away. Your future is being built by you right now. Every morning you wake up, you are given another opportunity to vote for the person you want to become. The question is, are your daily actions supporting your dreams, or are they protecting your comfort? Because comfort has destroyed more dreams than failure ever has. Clears throat. Failure teaches you, failure develops you. Failure reveals your weaknesses so you can strengthen them. Hey, clears throat. But comfort whispers to you. Comfort tells you stay where you are. Comfort says you have tried enough. Comfort says, maybe this is all you are capable of. And if you listen to comfort long enough, you begin to confuse a comfortable life with a successful life, but they are not the same. Growth requires discomfort. Every meaningful transformation requires you to step into a place where you are not completely confident yet. The first time you speak in front of people, you feel nervous. The first time you start a business, you feel uncertain. The first time you develop a new skill, you feel like a beginner. That feeling is not a sign that you should stop. That feeling is evidence that you are expanding. A small mind runs away from discomfort. A growing mind asks, what is this discomfort teaching me? Think about a muscle. A muscle does not become stronger because it avoids resistance. It becomes stronger because it faces resistance. The pressure creates adaptation. The challenge creates growth. And your character develops the same way. Every difficult moment is an opportunity to build a stronger version of yourself. Every disappointment can become wisdom. Every setback can become preparation. Every mistake can become a lesson, but only if you have the right mindset. Two people can experience the same failure. One person says life is against me. The other says life is training me. The first person becomes bitter. The second person becomes better. The event is the same and clears throat. The interpretation is different. An interpretation creates your reality. You must understand this powerful truth. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control what happens within you. You can control your response. You can control your attitude. You can control the meaning you give to your experiences. And that is where your power begins. A person who takes responsibility for their life becomes dangerous in the best possible way. Because when you stop blaming, you start building. When you stop making excuses, you start finding solutions. When you stop waiting for someone to save you, you discover the strength you already possess. But there is a difference between someone who hopes for a better future and someone who creates a better future. The person who creates understands that nobody is coming to do their work for them. Nobody is coming to wake them up every morning. Nobody is coming to force them to improve. Nobody is coming to build their discipline. At some point, you have to become your own leader. You have to become the person who pushes yourself. You have to become the person who keeps promises to yourself. Because every time you make a promise to yourself and break it, you weaken your confidence. Every time you make a commitment and honor it, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Confidence is not something you magically receive. Confidence is earned. Her clears throat, confidence comes from evidence. When you repeatedly prove to yourself that you can do difficult things, your mind begins to trust you. You start saying, I can handle challenges. I can learn. I can adapt. I can overcome. That belief changes everything, because the person who believes they can find a way will search for solutions. The person who believes they cannot will search for reasons. The mind is always looking for evidence to support what you believe. If you believe you are powerless, you will notice every obstacle. If you believe you are capable, you will notice every opportunity. The world is full of opportunities, but your mindset determines whether you recognize them. A person walking through a forest looking for darkness will find shadows. A person walking through the same forest looking for beauty will find light. The forest did not change. The eyes changed. Your perspective is a filter. And if your filter is filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, even blessings can look like burdens. But when you develop a mindset of growth, challenges become invitations. Problems become teachers. Criticism becomes information. Failure becomes feedback. You begin to understand that everything you experience can contribute to your development. I learned something years ago. The successful person is not the person who never faces problems. The successful person is the person who learns how to use problems, because problems are part of the price of progress. Every level of success comes with a new level of responsibility. A beginner has beginner problems. A leader has leadership problems. A person building something meaningful has meaningful challenges. Do not pray for a life without challenges. Pray for the strength, wisdom, and character to handle bigger challenges, because the goal is not to avoid storms. The goal is to become the type of person who can stand in the middle of the storm and still move forward. There was a time when many people looked at successful individuals and thought they were simply lucky. They saw the results, but ignored the process. They saw the achievement, but ignored the years of preparation. They saw the confidence, but ignored the moments of doubt they overcame. They saw the victory, but ignored the battles behind it. Never compare your beginning to someone else's middle. You do not know what someone sacrificed to become who they are. You do not know the nights they spent studying. You do not know the failures they survived. You do not know the discipline they developed when nobody was watching. The greatest achievements are usually built in silence before they are recognized in public. The world sees the flower. The world does not see the roots growing underground. And that is why patience is such an important part of success, because growth is happening even when you cannot see immediate results. A farmer does not plant a seed today and dig it up tomorrow to check if it is working. He trusts the process. He waters it. He protects it. He continues working, and eventually, what was invisible becomes visible. Your personal growth works the same way. Every book you read, every lesson you learn, every discipline choice you make, every time you choose improvement over comfort, it is planting something. And one day, the results will reveal what you have been building. But most people quit during the invisible stage. They stop because they cannot see progress yet. They stop because they expect instant results. They stop because they underestimate the power of consistency. The compound effect is one of the greatest forces in life. Small things done consistently create massive outcomes. A person who improves just a little every day is not competing with yesterday's version of themselves. They are creating a completely different future. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often not one giant action. It is the commitment to small actions, repeated over a long period of time. Your habits are shaping your identity. Your identity is shaping your choices. Your choices are shaping your future. And when you understand this, you stop asking, what can I get? You start asking, who must I become? Because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the person you become. If you want better results, improve yourself. If you want better opportunities, improve your skills. If you want better relationships, improve your character. If you want a better future, improve the person creating that future. The greatest investment you will ever make is the investment in yourself. Because everything you own can be lost. Money can disappear. Possessions can break. External circumstances can change. Let the knowledge, discipline, wisdom, and character you build inside yourself become part of who you are. Nobody can take away the person you have developed into. And that is why personal growth is not a luxury. It is a responsibility, because the world does not only need more successful people. The world needs more developed people. People with wisdom. People with integrity. People who can handle success without being destroyed by it. Because success without character can become dangerous. More money does not fix a weak mindset. More opportunities do not fix a lack of discipline. More recognition does not fix a lack of self-awareness. You must build the foundation before you build the empire. And the foundation begins with the conversation you have with yourself every single day. And the conversation you have with yourself every single day. Because the voice you listen to the most is the voice inside your own mind every morning before the world tells you who you are. You have a choice. You can continue believing the old story. The story that says you are not ready. The story that says you have missed your chance. The story that says your past is stronger than your potential. Or you can choose a new story. A story of growth. A story of discipline. A story of courage. A story where you decide that your future is worth fighting for. Let me tell you something. The person you want to become is not created by one perfect day. They are created by thousands of ordinary days, where you choose to do what is necessary. They are created when you wake up and keep your promises. They are created when you work even when nobody is watching. They are created when you continue learning, even when progress feels slow. They are created when you choose responsibility over excuses. Your transformation begins the moment you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start using the moment you have. Not wait until you feel ready. Readiness is often created through action. Do not wait until fear disappears. Courage is built by moving forward while fear is still present. Do not wait until everything clears throat becomes easy. Strength is built by facing what is difficult. The greatest version of yourself is not waiting for a better life. The greatest version of yourself is waiting for you to make better decisions. Think about the person you could become 1 year from today if you committed yourself completely. Imagine what would happen if you invested in yourself every single day. Imagine what would happen if you stopped feeding your doubts and started feeding your dreams. Imagine what would happen if you replaced excuses with solutions, comfort with discipline, and fear with faith. A year from now, you will wish you had started today. A year from now, you will either be grateful that you took action, or you will be wishing you had. The choice is being made right now. Every day you have a decision. Stay the same or grow. Remain comfortable or become capable. Protect your excuses or protect your future. Nobody else can make that decision for you. Your life is your responsibility. Your dreams are your responsibility. Your growth is your responsibility. And the moment you accept that responsibility, something powerful happens. You stop looking for someone to change your life. You become the person who changes your life. You stop waiting for opportunities. You start preparing yourself to create opportunities. You stop asking why life is unfair. You start asking how you can become stronger, because life does not reward the person who complains the most. Life rewards the person who develops the most. The world does not need a perfect person. It needs a committed person, a person who is willing to learn, a person who is willing to improve, a person who is willing to fall down and stand back up, a person who understands that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every great achievement has a story of persistence behind it. Every great person has moments when quitting would have been easier. But they continued. They continued because they hated laughter, understood something important. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret can last a lifetime. The discomfort of becoming better lasts for a moment. But the regret of knowing you could have become more can follow you forever. So choose your pain wisely. Choose the pain of growth. Choose the pain of discipline. Choose the pain of becoming the person you were meant to be. Because one day you will look back at this chapter of your life. You will remember the moments when nobody believed. You will remember the moments when progress was invisible. You will remember the moments when you had every reason to quit. And you will be grateful that you kept going. You will be grateful that you believed. You will be grateful that you made a decision to become more. So starting today, protect your mind. Be careful what you allow into your thoughts. Be careful what you repeatedly tell yourself. Surround yourself with ideas that elevate you. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. Surround yourself with knowledge that expands your vision, because your mind is the garden of your future. Plant seeds of confidence. Plant seeds of discipline. Plant seeds of courage. Plant seeds of possibility. And then water those seeds every single day through action. Remember this. Nobody is coming to hand you the life you dream about. You must build it. Nobody is coming to give you confidence. You must earn it. Nobody is coming to create your discipline. You must develop it. Nobody is coming to unlock your potential. You must discover it. The power has always been within you. The ability has always been inside you. The next chapter of your life begins with a decision that you will no longer allow fear to control you, a decision that you will no longer allow excuses to define you, a decision that you will no longer settle for a life smaller than the one you are capable of creating. Stand up for your future. Work for your future. Believe in your future. Because your future is not created by what you wish for. Your future is created by what you repeatedly do. So take the first step, then take another. Keep learning, keep growing, keep improving, keep becoming. Because every great life begins the same way, with one person making one powerful decision. I am ready to become more than I have ever been. And when that decision becomes stronger than your excuses, stronger than your fears, and stronger than your doubts, that is when your life begins to